Hey everybody, how's it going? It is time for another limited time series. This one featuring the classic Bugatti from the year 1992. Seems like a lifetime ago now. EB110 Supersport. Alright, so this event will run through the 8th of June. So this is one of the shorter running limited time series because I believe they're trying to squeeze in that the new Corvette limited time series before they roll out the next version 9.5. So this one, a little bit shorter. And out of all three Bugatti limited time series we've had in the current version, this is the cheapest one because it's an older car. The car itself cost 410 gold if you were to buy it outright. With a showcase discount, you can get it for 328 since the car is featured in a single bonus series, Clash of Icons, in Legend section where it's pitted up against the Ferrari Testarossa. So the two classics from different time period, right? So anyway, now because this car has been in the game since a couple of years ago, so originally we've had the chance to win this car through limited time series before, and that limited time series actually is part of the event archives. So if you're wondering which is the better way to go, well, if your goal is to just win the car and not necessarily 100% complete the bonus series this car's featured in, because in the bonus series this car's featured in, Clash of Icons, this is the, this is the car that can do 100%, meeting the PR requirement of 53.1. Because the Testarossa taps out quite a bit before that. Doesn't quite hit 50 even when it's maxed out. So, this is the clear winner there. But that will cost you a bit extra gold. Now, the PR requirement to complete this rendition of the limited time series is 53.2. So, obviously, if you win the car through this limited time series, then you obviously have enough upgrades on your car to complete the bonus series where there's some 66 gold reward. Now, if you own Testarossa, then obviously you can win this 100% complete that series, but otherwise you would only be able to do 75% completion before you shell out more gold to win Testarossa or buy Testarossa. Or also that, what's the special event? I think it's called like Road Trip or something like that. That's the one that featured Testarossa. That one also in event archives. So, but what would be really nice is if they offered upgrade discount on Testarossa, then perhaps it makes a bit more sense to get this car to the PR requirement here, 53.2 in this case for this limited time series, which will cost you, I believe, some 526 gold. Now, if you just, the difference here, if you win this car from the event archives event, then you basically get 3 upgrades across the board. You'll get your PR up to 49.6. That costs you 221 gold. So then you can win the car from there. You can run through this limited time series with the PR 49.6. You can complete this rendition of the bonus series limited time series 75% completion. So even though you don't get any gold from the event archives run, you'll pick up 20 gold, which is the 75% completion reward. So let's jump in here. So Bugatti EB110 Super Sport Championship, earning 1992. Yes, Bugatti EB110 Super Sport by 100% completing this special limited time series. Features technologies that are well ahead of its time, including active aerodynamics and a carbon fiber monocoque. Right, so here is the breakdown of the rewards. Increment, 25% completion increment, right? So if you can get 75% completion, you pick up 20 gold and you win the car, and you're able to complete if you win the car through the event archive event, then you get to win the car for 221 gold. You get 20 of it back if you decide to run through 75% of this one. So the net cost is down to 201, and you will be able to complete 75% completion on the Clash of Icons, the bonus series, which means there is some 39 gold is what you can win through 75% completion. So then the cost is down to 160 gold range, between 160 and 170. So that is quite affordable, right? Now, if you want to run through it this time, as I said, it's going to cost you twice that, right? And then some, because you do need to bring your PR up to 53.2, and you need a lot of gold upgrades to get there. So basically, let's check into the series real quick here. So this car in my garage, for this particular account, my main playing accounts, actually, I do have this car, I think, fully maxed out. But on this sort of a placeholder account that is becoming more active as I'm going through these deals, as you can see, 7 upgrades out of 28. So that is of course, the tier 1 racing dollar upgrades. That brings your PR up to 39.7, base PR 34.7. Right, so that's all the upgrades that you can get with the racing dollars alone. And if you're wondering in this bonus series, can you get any gold with that much upgrades? And the answer is no. I believe you need PR 41.1 to complete tier 4. So obviously you need gold to win gold. And then tier 8, of course, that's the 50% completion tier. But you don't necessarily have to complete the tier 8. Well, I mean, if you're in this far, you want to go all the way, right? At least 75% if you already own the car. So this 50% completion would require PR 44.6. And then tier 12 is where you can claim the 75% completion reward. And that requires PR 48.7. So, as I said, if you win the car through event archive event, then you will be able to win the car there for 221 gold and pick up 20 gold here. That's one scenario. And then you'll do 75% completion on Clash of Icons bonus series to pick up another 39 gold or so. That is, if you're patient enough to wait for some sort of an upgrade discount on this car in the future. We've had one in the past. That's why mine on my other account is fully upgraded. So, if you're happy with parking it for the time being after you do 75% completion of this limited time series and Clash of Icons and save yourself some, I don't know, some 300 gold or so, somewhere around there. That's how much you won't have to spend. Then, well, there you go. That's a decent amount of savings. So that's one option. But if you're one of those completionists that you have to do it, then don't bother with the event archives. Just run through this one, You get you spend 526 gold. You get 40 of it back this time around, so that net cost is down to 486. And of course, if you already own Testarossa, you can finally 100% complete the Clash of Icons, which means there's another 66 gold to be won. So that brings the net cost down to more like 420 range, right? So, and this car, there is no exclusive series. So, is that worthwhile fully upgrading this car? Never. I mean, you never get dollar per dollar or gold per gold back, you know. So, actually, I take that back. On rare occasions, some earlier, older legacy cars, if you upgrade fully, what you get as a reward for completing the exclusive series actually is greater. So there's some there, but that's very, very few and far in between, you know. So, with that being said, sure, why not? Let's do this real quick, and we'll just check out the series itself, see what's there. And yeah, I didn't even bother telling you guys about the racing dollar cost. I'll have all the relevant information related to this car and this event in the description box below, as always. And yes, the car is featured in a single bonus series, Clash of Icons. And they are offering us 24-hour instant service and instant R&D on the upgrades, which is always very handy. So, as I said, the final Cup Tier 15 does require PR 53.2, which you can get there by getting 5 engine upgrades. But here, well, let's talk about the meeting the first PR requirement for if you decide to take the event archives route, right? Which requires PR 49.6. So that means you need to get 3 upgrades across the board. It just did the auto save. Uh-oh. I do have a backup, so from my other device, so I'll have to refer to that one for getting my gold back, but not to worry, that happens. So if you're trying to do what I'm doing here to check these things, always have a backup on your secondary device. It'll come in handy, like when that happens, what you just saw. So, as I was saying, you need to get 3 upgrades across the board. And that will get your PR up to 49.6, which is what's required to win this through Event Archive limited time series, for the cost of 221 gold and about $1 million racing dollars. Right. Now, if you want to meet this new PR requirement of 53.2, you need to bring the engine up to tier 5. You don't need the last one because that's exorbitantly expensive for this car. And then you need to max out drivetrain. It's pretty pricey, 80 gold. And then next category you need to max out are gonna be suspension and exhaust. So those are both gonna cost 70 gold each. So there you go, 53.2. So just about every category maxed out except for engine and body. that's how you can reach the PR requirement for this limited time series, and that's also going to be good enough to 100% complete the bonus series, the cars featured in. Right, so with that being said, let's rewind to the beginning and just have a quick view of the series itself. We got head to head. Oh, by the way, my original run through of the limited time series, the version that is currently residing in Event Archives, I have the playthrough, so I'll put the link to the playlist of my playthrough in the description box below. So if you're interested in running, basically winning the car through that limited time series, yeah, feel free to check that out. But anyway, here we go for this one. We got head to head at Dubai International to start off, single lapper, and then we got speed snap at Spa, and a cup at Berlin circuit, 2 laps. That's a pretty short circuit, though 2 laps seems like for tier 1. Come on, could just gotten tier just a single lap. Not so. Okay, moving on. Tier 2, Autocross at Bugatti Circuit, Elimination at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, and the cup for Tier 2 at the WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. PR 38.1 is required for the single lapper. So obviously you do need some upgrades on to get through Tier 2, and that gets us to Tier 3, Hunter at Suzuka Grand Prix, a full lap. Head to head at Silverstone Grand Prix, also a full lap. And the cup at Daytona Motorcycle Course, single lap with a PR 39.8 required. Tier 4, your 25% completion tier for that precious 5 gold reward, right? We got endurance at Bugatti Circuit, so your target may vary depending on your margin of victory up to this point. So yeah, plan accordingly, right? And although when they offer instant service for a whole day, I feel like perhaps the bot management is not as crucial. You know, especially if you run through this rendition, your PR is going to be pretty high, almost fully maxed out. So maybe it's not necessary to bot train. Anyway, then we got Speed Snap at Berlin. And the cup for Tier 4 at Hockenheim Grand Prix, PR 41.1, which is beyond the reach of your Racing Dollar upgrades alone. So, right. Moving on, Tier 5, we got Autocross at Catalunya National, Elimination at the Austin Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix, and the cup for Tier 5 at the Brickyard Road Course, 2 laps, PR 42.3 required. Right. Moving on, Tier 6, we got head to head at the 24-hour circuit. That is a long lap. We got endurance, this one at the Leipzig, the dynamic circuit of the Porsche test track. And Tier 6 cup is going to be at Suzuka East, 4 laps, PR 43.5 is required. Moving on, Tier 7, we got Hunter at Berlin. Man, we got lots of Berlin circuit events, don't we? And followed by Elimination at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix. And Tier 7 Cup is going to be at Bathurst Mount Panorama. 2 laps, PR 44.6 is required. Alright, so we're going to get some longer races going on from this point on. The 50% completion tier where you need 2 gold trophies here. So you don't necessarily have to get the cup, but I'm assuming if you're in this far, you're probably in it to win it. So, alright, at least win 75%. So we got Autocross at Hockenheim Short, Speed Snap at Laguna Seca, and the cup at Dubai Club Circuit. That is a fun circuit, pretty short. 3 laps, PR 45.6 is required. I know I just said longer races are beginning now, and then they throw me that curveball. Figures. All right, Tier 9, we got Hunter at Catalunya Grand Prix. We got a drag race, this first one of this limited time series. So hopefully we keep that count low. And then we got a cup at Daytona Road Course this time. 2 laps, PR 46.7 is required. And moving on, Tier 10, we got Autocross at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit, Speed Snap at Melbourne, and Cup at Silverstone International. 4 laps, PR 47.7 is required. Tier 11, we got head-to-head, Mount Panorama, single lapper. Elimination at Laguna Seca. All right, and the Cup at Monza Junior Course, 6 laps, PR 48.7 is required, which is what you're gonna need to claim 75% completion, which pays additional 10 gold here. So that makes the total 20, right? So you just need a single gold trophy in Tier 12. So that is relevant for those of you guys who take the event archives route to win this car and just running through this one to just collect whatever gold that you can, right? So we got Autocross. Yeah, as I said, you just need a single gold trophy. So although you can do the cup as well if you have won the car through the event archives limited time series. Anyway, we got Autocross at Spa, Speed Record at Catalunya Club, and the cup for Tier 12 is going to be at Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit, 8 laps, and PR 49.7 is required. You know what? I guess you cannot do that cup with the event archives limited time series PR because that puts you at 49.6, and this one is 0.1 PR point beyond that. So, but as I said, you don't need to do that cup. You just need to do either Speed Record or Autocross, you know, so you'll still be able to claim that 75% completion reward. All right, moving on. Now, if you're into this deep, obviously you are in it to go all the way. So Tier 13, we got head-to-head at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, also known as the Brickyard. All right, followed by Endurance at Suzuka East. By the way, head-to-head is a single lapper. I like to check. During the limited time series, it's almost always single lapper, but in the main road collection, or I still call it the career part of the game, you do come across some head-to-head that is multi-lapper, so I like to make sure. All right, and then the Tier 13 Cup is at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. 4 laps, PR 50.8 is required, which takes us to the penultimate tier, Tier 14, Elimination at Hockenheim Short, Autocross at Mount Panorama, and the Cup at this time, the proper Monza Road Course. 3 laps with a PR 51.9 required. And the final tier is going to be Tier 15, of course. We got Speed Snap at Daytona Motorcycle Course, Hunter at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit, and the cup here is going to be at Spa. 3 laps with a PR 53.2. So as I said, once again, if you want to win this car through this limited time series, this is going to be the upgrade scheme yet that you're going to need. The cheapest route, that is, which will still cost you some 526 gold, 40 of which you do get back, and there is a potential of getting either 66 gold for 100% completing the bonus series if you already own Testarossa. Otherwise, you will claim the 39 gold, 75% completion reward, right? So yeah, so there is the quick rundown of this bonus series. So whichever way you choose, good luck to you all. And then of course, if you already own this car and have the PR high enough, then you know it's 40 free gold, so run through it, right? So good luck to you all. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care.